can describe some of the impact around what we describe as last mile communities. And as the name connotes, last mile, these are communities that they're really far-flung locations without access to the national grid. Not having access to the national grid, underserved situations, means that you're not even going to get electricity at all. And the challenge with these communities is because they have difficult terrains. A lot of them are actually in swamp terrain. So infrastructure will be very difficult and expensive to have those infrastructure there. So my experience with when we introduced the model, which is a decentralized solution, solar energy powered mini grids. At the early stage, we described it as the solar energy cabins, and in some cases, solar refrigeration hubs to serve these communities. The biggest challenge for facilitating access to energy in these coastal communities is the community acceptance, community engagement, stakeholder engagement. And the reason is because they've seen a lot of failed projects in the past. Convincing them to say that this is the right fit because of our own design and special intervention, understanding of that landscape. Convincing them wasn't as easy as you would think. You would imagine communities would roll the red carpet for you if you had any projects there, but that wasn't the case. This involved a lot of engagement with those key stakeholders, the gatekeepers in these communities. It also involved us convincing the partners, showing them the value. That's the private sector power developers, showing them the right value. They have safety for their equipment, they have safety for their staff. They are assured of making some profit in these locations. So these are the sort of things that we had to build, that what we describe as the social acceptance of this project. So that was really the challenge. Like most challenges, once we did it once, twice, it became second nature, and we knew how to, run through those challenges quickly.
One big lesson is partnership, looking at the bigger picture of partnership. Because you have to also get the community buy-in, even aside from the whole community, still having a power committee in the community, and also the private sector, not just they imposing this is just what we want to, like how the microsystem works. Every party has to have a say and see an incentive in it. At every of those challenges, we tend to let them see the incentive in all of the challenges, and the partnership and us also helped in everything we did.
Beyond our own immediate remit of work, we find stakeholders at an international level also trying to leverage that partnership and leverage our influence within these communities to achieve more. So we've seen different sectors now leveraging access to electricity, access to energy as a pivotal activity that will shape their own impact at the end of the day. One of such is healthcare. With access to electricity, healthcare facilities can actually deliver more healthcare goals at the rural level. What we discovered through our partnership with the Healthcare Electrification and Telecoms Alliance, HETA, was that there's a lot of resources that can come in through interest in healthcare at the rural level. So if we bring all our resources together, the resources that developers ordinarily have, with interest in things like climate finance and healthcare electricity, there's a pot of resources ready to go into these communities to fast track all these goals at the same time. What signified that impact for me was the recognition through our joining the alliance of the Healthcare and Telecommunications Alliance, which is a Power Africa project, an ambitious project to electrify communities, 10,000 communities in sub-Saharan Africa. Of course, with a lot of interest in Nigeria. HINT was the first partner in the country, in Nigeria, with Power Africa through a partnership with Apt Associates. And this was interesting for us because beyond our work in these communities, they were able to provide resources and collaboration which extended the impact of our work beyond just economic benefits to more social and welfare benefits.
This is the model that we introduced to the healthcare project owner, and they were able to, take it up, which we are now looking into replicating in other places. So instead of powering just only the healthcare facilities, while we will leave other residents in the community into darkness. So we are able to introduce a model that will be able to have a dedicated health grid to the healthcare facility and still have additional connections, which is going to be coming in from residents around the businesses and households. So this has really been a great innovation that we really implemented in this phase.
The interesting thing is that there's an interconnection between welfare, livelihoods, and of course the additional income that comes to individuals and communities. So it was a new way of seeing the impact of our work, the value our work brings, the visibility, the multi-stakeholder partnership that our work was able to garner to deliver value to the people of the Niger Delta.
Our program is targeting access to energy physically, but in Adagbarasa, the partner was able to go extra mile with introduction of a communication system alongside with the energy cabin. And this has really led to most of this community right now demanding for such services. So instead of just ordinarily access to electricity, but now they want access to data comms because they are last mile. They're also suffering from electricity, but also suffering from access to internet. So now access to energy is able to bridge the gap of electricity and also bridge the gap of communication.
So concerning the change that you find in the community, you tend to see the innovation that comes from just having access to energy. They comes up with new jobs, installing DSTV, opening charging shops, from someone that just has a shop with fridge, just one fridge, thought about that instead of just one fridge, why can't I just buy like 5 fridges and give it to other people, then make returns. So they tend to innovate and adapt easily, so because of just access to energy.
By the time we were doing community engagement, we could see a lot of excitement coming from the community people and also the stakeholders there. They really show the willingness and eagerness to have it. Even more communities are demanding that such should be replicated in their communities as well.
Communities are now actually very desperate that they tell their leaders that we don't want jetty, we don't want concrete floors, we want access to energy projects.
And the plan going into the next phase for us is that that will be the cornerstone of our work. A lot of the communities with the community funds they have are looking at replicating our model in bespoke ways. We have ways of tweaking the model to be very specific to their own situations. So yes, it's something that communities have actually adopted. We started with about 2 private sector developers during the last phase. We tried some pilots, but over this 5-year strategic phase, we've seen that number grow up to about 14. That demonstrates a lot of interest in our work. We've achieved a lot at this phase, but I think with the success, the next thing for us is scale and speed. So we'd like to achieve a lot more. We know the models that work. We've learned a lot of lessons. That means we can scale faster than we did over this phase. I could see the excitement. I could see the instant value that this thing brought to changing the lives of individuals in these communities. We supported strategic goals towards the next phase. And of course, for us as a team, that we're going into something bigger that can actually bring influence and change to the lives of the Niger Delta people.